So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, live at the roller derby. And we're talking to Casey Gilman. Now, Casey used to be one of my students, and she is now 19 years old, and she has been doing roller derby, which obviously is her passion, for how long?
4.5 years. It'll be 5 in November.
5 years now. Tell us how this happened for you.
Well, I grew up around playing roller derby, so it wasn't really like out of the ordinary for me. It was out of the ordinary for everyone else. My aunt played growing up, so I was always around it and watching it. And the second I found a junior league in New Jersey, I was like, I'm going to join. This is perfect. This is made for me. I'm going. And I went, and it was like 5 girls at a hockey rink with no ice, and we skated, and that was pretty much it. There was no derby or contact. And then we went to a 10-week training camp up in New York, and we skated with Gotham, which is the best team in the nation.
Gotham Girls in New York City, right?
Yes.
And I have a friend who used to be the captain of Gotham Girls. Now she's a mom and all that good stuff.
Yeah, all that fun stuff and adult life, and it's great. But yeah, so we went and skated with Gotham for a 10-week summer camp. And we were all like 13, 14 years old at that time. And after the summer camp, they said, hey, we want you, you, and you to join our travel team. And all of us were ecstatic because we got to be the nation's #1 travel team for juniors, and it was great. Then, yeah, it kind of just took off from there. I skated with Gotham for 3 years, and then I just left high school and left home and went to college. And when I came to college, one of the first things I did was made sure I could find roller derby.
Oh, okay. So wait, I want to make sure we get this clear. When you left for college, when you got here, one of the first things, be honest, tell everybody what you really did.
Okay, so when I was searching for colleges, I made a spreadsheet of all the things that you were looking for in a college, like dorm size, campus size, biggest class, blah, 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 some people.
And when she says she made a spreadsheet, that spreadsheet that she made, you have to understand the kind of student Casey was.
Yeah.
And this sweet exterior, it's true. But at the same time, I also remember you telling me that you just love a good hit.
Yeah, I do really like to hit people. But yeah, so one of the things I was looking for in a college was roller derby and what was the closest team. How could I get to practice, because some schools don't let freshmen have cars on campus, so that all came into play. And yeah, Charm was just the perfect fit, as was Towson, and that's where I go to school, so it all worked out, and this is my second home.
Do you have any hesitations or challenges keeping roller derby in your life? And I know that right now you were actually instructing the new skaters, because why?
Because I am currently on LOA, which is leave of absence, because I dislocated my jaw and got a concussion all within 2 weeks of each other. So yeah, I'm hoping to get back on skates soon, but it's not right for my body right now. It needs to calm down.
What do you feel about that, the injuries? Because for all of those people who would like to get involved in derby, I think being injured is probably the biggest concern.
Yeah, so the biggest injuries are definitely the biggest concern. And as far as my injuries, they both happened in situations that shouldn't have happened or were illegal, and the person who acted upon it did receive a penalty for it. So it's hard to say that roller derby is a dangerous sport, because it is dangerous, but it's safely dangerous because you wear so much protective gear, and you're taught things like you're taught how to fall, you're taught how to get up safely without standing right up into someone else and knocking them over. You're taught how to avoid the refs when you have to go out of bounds, or you're taught all of this stuff to prepare you for this game, so that if you fall or you go backwards or whatever, they're going to try to aid you in falling in the safest way possible. So actually, the injuries I have now are the worst ones I've ever had playing derby, and I've been playing for 5 years. So it does come with a bad connotation, especially with injuries, but it's definitely worth it.
Would you say that's the greatest challenge, incorporating this passion into your life, or what would you think is the biggest challenge?
I think the biggest challenge with incorporating derby is that once you're in it, it's deemed the derby bug. Everyone gets it. So when you start skating, and all of our new girls right now have it, they just assessed, and some of them made it and are flourishing, and some of them didn't make it and are still flourishing. And they all have the bug right now. And it's where all you want to do all the time is derby because it's just so awesome. And it's not just because of the sport, it's also because of the people. And I think derby is such a community because we're all growing together, because it's a nonprofit sport. It's a sport that started from the ground all the way over again because it didn't exist and then it did. And we're all growing together and we're all accepting of one another and we're all learning. And that's just such a huge, like, it's something you don't see a lot of.
For example, you talk about community. You're staying with two people, and what are their names again?
So I am currently spending my summer with Cherrylicious and Natty Bones, Natty Bones is a coach for the Team Maryland travel team, and Cherrylicious is a recent retiree of the Charm City Roller Girls, who is an awesome skater and was an all-star for several years, is on Team Maryland and skated with Femtro this past season. So yeah, it's super awesome, and I reached out for someone to spend my summer with because I just had so much going on. I wanted to stay here, and everyone was like, "Oh, you have like 60 new big sisters," and it was great. Yeah, it's super awesome.
So what do you think you've learned about yourself through this?
I've learned that I extremely underestimate myself. Going from a junior league where I was kind of the biggest person and more like mature and more, I don't know, more everything because I was more experienced, and coming here and being the smallest and
the youngest
and
by 6 years.
Yeah, and it's almost like inspiring and empowering, and I've always liked being friends with people that are older than me, so I enjoy it a lot because I'm having so much fun not being with people my age, and that sounds totally wrong, but it's totally right. I think it's like a second family. There's no other way to describe how the people here are, or what the environment feels like, because it's great.
Casey, what is your favorite derby memory?
Okay, so my favorite derby, I have a few, but this is one of my more recent favorite derby memories, is there's this girl called Susie Hot Rod, and she is one of the best skaters and has been for several years. And sorry, I heard a scream and I got nervous. She was on like Team USA. She was sponsored by Rydell, which is a huge roller skate company. And I got the chance to scrimmage against her because she skated for Gotham. So for a long time, she was my coach. I got to skate against her just recently with the Charm City All-Stars against her home team of Queen City. And it was me and her jamming against each other, and I got lead jammer over Susie Hot Rod, and I cried. I was so happy. My mom was there to watch, and she goes, "Case, I've never seen you smile as big as that before," and it was just so great. I got lead, I scored points, I called it off. Susie Hot Rod didn't get anything, and I was like, yeah, this is great. And then it was over.
How did Susie feel about that?
She wasn't very happy, but she's very chill and down to earth, so she shrugged it off, and I saw her this past weekend when I went home, and it's totally fine.
So what advice would you give my audience about pursuing a passion?
Do it. So I think that passion is a funny thing, actually. I think it's different because it's unique to everyone. You can't pretend you have a passion. It's not feasible. For me, when I started skating and I got to the level of competitiveness that I finally went, oh, so this is what passion is. You don't realize you have a passion until you have one. It's kind of like that feeling that you're like, oh, is this what a passion feels like? Or maybe I really like this, but I don't want to do it sometimes. Passion is just it's such an individual thing that if you're trying to find your passion, you kind of have to let it find you. You can't really go out and try to find it, but try things because you might find things you like, and it's great.
So it surfaces.
Yeah, it's like cheese. It needs to age.
So here's what I would like you to do. Can you tell everybody where they can go to either look into getting into Derby or look into the organization or organizations that you're a part of?
So if you're looking to get into Derby, all you have to do is go on Google and search local roller derby, and there is a derby team in every single state. So there's bound to be one in your state, and there's several in several states. So definitely type in your local roller derby, reach out to them, go to an event, meet some people. We have what we call skate dates here every Thursday, and we just all come to an open skate and wear our charm shirts so they know who we are and skate around and introduce ourselves and try to recruit new skaters. And also, like, skaters are a huge part of Derby, but an even bigger part is our refs and our NSOs. Because with Derby, no one's paid. It's all nonprofit. Everyone volunteers their time. So all of our referees and our NSOs that make our rules and regulations and games possible are doing it just because. And that is also something everyone's looking for. So if you're maybe not interested in contact, but you're super awesome about remembering rules and you want to yell at us and tell us to get off the track, that's definitely a job for you. Or maybe you're like, hey, I really like this sport, but I'm not such a good skater. You can be an NSO, which is a non-skating official, and you could do penalty box timing, penalty counting, and a whole bunch of other stuff like timing. But yeah, there's so many ways you can get involved.
I'm going to make you a part of our private group on Facebook, right? Motivate Me Ultimate Support System, so people can reach out to you there. So people, if you are near the Inner Harbor, you could come be a part of this program right where Casey is. But if not, she is telling you that if you'd like to skate or just be a volunteer that helps to run this organization, roller derby is so cool. Of course, my first thing when I started watching them go around the track, I'm like, does she have a ball in her hand? I mean, are they trying to stop her? I don't get what's going on. Yeah. But I picked up on it quickly, and I could see how people would have their favorite players. I mean, not for anything, but Dottie Deathwish. I'm like, that would be my girl right there.
I can get her for you. I will go and grab Dottie Deathwish. She's awesome. She is such an inspiration, and so many of the All-Stars are, especially to me because I'm young and I'm looking at everyone with big eyes and taking in everything they tell me, and it's just, some of them are amazing. We have everyone who's come from no skating background to people who have been speed skating champions to people who have been at skate parks to people who ice skated. Like, there's so many different backgrounds. Soccer players, gymnasts, no sports, chess club, like, it's all here and no one cares, and it's amazing.
Listen, I've always said that you were awesome. I've always said that you were going to do great things. And I'm so proud of you. You have a million things going on. This is one aspect of your person.
Yes, this is Casey Diva, and when I leave the rink or the track, I become Casey Gilman and pursue a whole nother different idea.
Yeah, we didn't even tell them your name. Turn around and show them your shirt.
Yeah. This is my shirt.
There she is. There she is, ladies and gentlemen. Casey Diva.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. It's been a pleasure and a lot of fun.
And I talk to you, 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 and we love, and we hate, and we demonstrate.